The silent glances, the ones that happen when she thinks no one is noticing, are windows into her hidden emotions. There's a way she looks at you that is different from the casual gaze she gives to others. It's subtle, almost fleeting, a glance that lingers just a fraction longer than normal. But in that moment, if you are truly observant, you can sense that she is thinking about you. It's not always intense or dramatic. Sometimes it's so soft and quiet that you could easily miss it if you're distracted by the noise of daily life. Yet those glances are her way of expressing what she cannot say. They are her heart reaching out in silence, a delicate thread connecting her feelings to yours without a single word being exchanged. There is a quiet excitement in these glances, a mix of hope and fear, because they are her way of expressing her emotions without the vulnerability of verbal confession. Sometimes the intensity of a look can tell you more than an entire conversation ever could. There's an unspoken depth in the way she observes your gestures, your expressions, your small habits, and even the way you interact with others around you. Every glance is a reflection of her hidden thoughts, an invitation to understand her feelings if only you choose to see. The beauty of these silent glances lies in their subtlety. They are never forced, never loud, never dramatic. They appear naturally in moments where she feels the pull of her own emotions, moments where the world fades and all that matters is her connection with you. Her eyes may briefly meet yours, filled with warmth, curiosity, or even longing. And then she looks away, almost as if she is testing whether you will recognize her hidden message. It takes a careful, attentive heart to notice them. But for those who do, these glances speak volumes about the emotions she is keeping to herself. Sometimes the most meaningful messages are hidden in the smallest of gestures, in the little details that might seem inconsequential at first glance. When someone misses you or wants your attention, it isn't always loud or obvious. She might not send you long messages or openly confess that she's thinking of you, but her subtle communication patterns can reveal everything. These patterns are the quiet, secret language she uses when she wants to feel close to you without exposing her vulnerability. It could be the way she texts you at seemingly random times, dropping a single word, an emoji, or even just reacting to a story you posted online. At first, you might dismiss these as casual actions, coincidences, or friendly gestures, but if you start to notice the pattern behind them, you realize that there's much more going on beneath the surface. Each small interaction is a breadcrumb, a way of keeping you present in her life, a silent nudge that she wants to be noticed, remembered, and acknowledged in ways she cannot say outright. The subtlety of these communications is what makes them so intriguing. A simple good morning text might carry an undercurrent of longing. A reaction to your social media story might be more than just casual engagement. And a brief comment on something you shared could be her way of trying to spark a connection without directly asking for it. Often these actions are unconscious, coming from a place of genuine emotion rather than calculated effort. She wants to stay close to you to make sure that even if she isn't physically present, you feel her presence. You feel that she is thinking about you. It's her way of quietly maintaining a bond, testing whether you are paying attention and seeing if you notice the care she is sending through these small gestures. When you start recognizing these patterns, it becomes almost impossible to ignore the fact that she misses you, even if she never says it aloud. Subtle communication patterns are also highly personal. Every person has their unique way of expressing interest or longing, and for her, it might be through the tiniest of details. Maybe she double taps your photos a little longer than normal, sends you a song that reminded her of a memory you shared, or replies to a message with a question that keeps the conversation going. These small actions may seem insignificant, but they are carefully crafted, intentional ways of keeping you engaged without revealing the depth of her feelings. It's a dance of emotions, a gentle tug of connection where every move matters and every reaction is a hint. Her communication is designed to be seen only by those who are attentive enough to notice, a secret language meant to draw you closer without risking rejection or embarrassment. The beauty of these patterns is that they reveal authenticity in her feelings. While words can sometimes be misleading, actions, especially subtle repeated actions, rarely lie. If you pay attention to the way she reaches out, the timing of her messages, and the consistency of her gestures, you will start to understand the depth of her unspoken emotions. There is a vulnerability in her choice to communicate in these small ways, a quiet courage in sending signals without exposure, and a hope that you will notice, respond, and meet her halfway. Each of these patterns is an invitation, a glimpse into her inner world, and a reminder that even when she seems distant, she is finding ways to keep your connection alive. Sometimes the quietest forms of longing are the ones that catch us completely off guard. One of the clearest signs that she is thinking about you, missing you even when she pretends not to, is when she reaches out unexpectedly. These check-ins aren't scheduled or predictable. They are spontaneous, almost impulsive, but they carry a weight far heavier than a casual conversation. It could be a simple text in the middle of the day asking how you're doing, a brief "Did you get home safe?" after an event, or even just a message that seems trivial on the surface, like sharing a meme or a song. What makes these moments so revealing is their unpredictability. When someone reaches out without reason, without an agenda, it is often because they are thinking of you, because there is an emotional pull they cannot ignore. Even if she acts casual, these little check-ins are her way of letting you know that you are on her mind, that she misses your presence, and that she wants to feel connected in any way she can without having to confront her own vulnerability. Unexpected check-ins often reveal more about a person's true feelings than any long conversation ever could. They are not rehearsed or forced. They come from a place of genuine desire to connect. When she sends a message seemingly out of nowhere, it is her heart breaking through her self-imposed distance, a silent confession wrapped in casual words. Maybe she doesn't want to admit that she has been thinking about you all day. Or perhaps she fears appearing too needy, so she disguises her longing with a simple "hey" or a playful comment. But if you pay attention, the timing, the subtle choice of words, and the consistency of these check-ins paint a clear picture. She is seeking your attention, craving your response, and secretly wishing to be closer. There is a delicacy in these moments, a quiet intimacy that exists precisely because they are unexpected, because they are small enough to be overlooked, yet powerful enough to stir emotions. These spontaneous gestures also carry an element of courage. Reaching out to someone you care about, especially when emotions are involved, is never easy. It takes vulnerability to break through the wall of pride or fear and send a message that might go unnoticed or unacknowledged. And yet she does it anyway. That tiny impulse to check in is her way of bridging the distance she feels. A gentle attempt to keep you in her life, even if it's only for a brief moment. These moments are precious because they are authentic. They are her feelings unfiltered, expressed in a form that is safe for her, yet meaningful for you. If you begin to notice this pattern, if you start recognizing the times when she reaches out seemingly at random, you will realize that these small gestures are not random at all. They are intentional, deliberate attempts to maintain a connection, to show care, and to remind you silently that she is thinking of you. Unexpected check-ins are also a subtle test, a way of observing your reaction without risking too much. She is watching to see if you notice her effort, if you respond with warmth, attention, or acknowledgement. Every reply you give, every tone you take in return becomes part of the silent dialogue she is creating with you, a conversation that exists without explicit words. Even the briefest messages can carry enormous emotional significance because behind them is a layer of longing, attention, and desire that she is carefully balancing with her need to appear composed and independent. Emotions have a way of revealing themselves even when words fail. And one of the clearest signs that she is secretly craving your attention is in the shifts in her mood when you are around. You might notice that sometimes she seems unusually quiet, withdrawn, or even a little tense when in your presence, and at other times she might be lively, cheerful, or almost teasing. These changes aren't random. They are subtle reflections of the inner conflict she feels, a tout-à-fait between wanting to show she cares and trying to maintain her composure. The moments when she becomes quiet or hesitant are particularly telling. They often indicate that she is consciously holding back her emotions, trying not to appear too eager or vulnerable, even though deep down she is hoping you notice her, hoping that you will reach out or give her the validation she secretly craves. This dance of emotions can be confusing if you are not paying close attention, but to the observant eye, it is a language all its own, revealing layers of longing, affection, and uncertainty. Mood shifts often manifest in small, almost imperceptible ways. Perhaps she smiles a little less when you enter the room, then brightens suddenly if you initiate a conversation. Maybe her laughter is softer, her voice slightly different, or her posture more closed when she is trying to hide her emotions, only to relax completely when she senses that you are paying attention or engaging with her in a meaningful way. These patterns are not just coincidences, they are reflections of her internal emotional state. When someone cares deeply about another person, even the slightest interactions can trigger waves of emotion ranging from excitement to nervousness, from longing to uncertainty. Every gesture, every expression becomes layered with meaning. If you start noticing these subtle changes, you begin to understand that she is constantly navigating her feelings around you, trying to balance her desire for closeness with her fear of being too exposed. Shifts in mood also appear in how she reacts to your presence in different social settings, around friends, or in public spaces. She might appear composed, even indifferent, as if she doesn't want to draw attention to herself or her feelings. But in quieter, more private moments, her true emotions often shine through. Her hesitation, her sudden bursts of enthusiasm, her soft smiles, or even her subtle frowns are all signals that she is emotionally engaged, that she notices your every word, glance, and action. These shifts are her way of communicating without speaking, of expressing the emotions she cannot vocalize, and of hoping that you will pick up on the cues. They are a silent form of storytelling where her heart speaks while her lips remain quiet, a language that only someone attentive and emotionally connected can truly understand. Recognizing these mood changes requires patience, observation, and empathy. You have to be willing to slow down, to notice the small inconsistencies in her behavior, and to connect them to moments when her emotions are most visible. Every flicker of hesitation, every momentary change in energy, and every subtle reaction is a clue, a breadcrumb leading you to the realization that she is craving your attention in secret. These mood shifts are not random. They are deliberate manifestations of her inner world, a complex mix of desire, fear, and hope that she is trying to navigate without losing control of herself. When you begin to see the patterns, you start to understand the depth of her unspoken feelings and the intensity of the longing she carries quietly within her. Sometimes the clearest way to understand someone's feelings is by observing how they behave when you are not around. Her reactions to your absence can speak volumes about the depth of her emotions. Even when she acts as though she doesn't care when she misses you, it isn't always loud or obvious. Often it's subtle, woven into the little things she does or doesn't do when you're not there. You might notice that she becomes quieter than usual, perhaps more reflective, or even slightly distracted. Her friends might notice her glances toward where you usually are, or she might reference you in conversation in small, almost casual ways. These moments are telling because they reveal that even when you are not physically present, she is thinking about you, replaying memories, anticipating your return, and quietly wishing for your attention. Absence has a way of amplifying emotions, and in her case, it often brings her longing to the surface in ways that she may try to conceal from herself and others. Her reactions to your absence can also show up in her communication patterns. She might send messages that are small or seemingly insignificant, like a thinking of you text or a simple check in. But these gestures are loaded with meaning. She is subtly testing whether you notice, whether you respond with care, and whether the bond you share is as strong in her absence as it is in your presence. Even her social media activity may reflect this quiet longing. She might like a post you shared days ago, comment on something that reminds her of you, or subtly engage in ways that keep her in your awareness. These actions may seem random or minimal, but in reality, they are her way of maintaining a connection across the distance, of reaching out without having to verbalize how much she misses you. The absence becomes a canvas for her emotions, allowing her to express longing in the smallest, most nuanced ways. You may also notice that her mood shifts more noticeably during your absence. Perhaps she becomes contemplative, withdrawn, or even slightly anxious, as though the emptiness left by your absence affects her more than she admits. Her friends or family might sense a change in her energy or temperament, and she may unconsciously reveal that she is preoccupied with thoughts of you. Sometimes she may attempt to distract herself with activities, yet her mind continually returns to your presence. Even her laughter, her smiles, or her engagement in social interactions may carry a hint of longing or incompleteness, revealing that the missing piece in her day is you. In these moments, her behavior can almost feel like a puzzle with tiny pieces scattered throughout her day that all point to the same truth. She is craving your attention in ways she cannot express openly. Every small act, every pause, and every thoughtful gesture while you are gone is a sign that your presence matters to her more than she is willing to admit. By paying attention to these subtle reactions, you begin to see the emotional depth behind her actions, the silent messages she sends when she thinks no one is looking, and the longing that she carries quietly in her heart. Her absence, paradoxically, becomes the loudest voice of all, a quiet but persistent signal that she is thinking of you constantly, even if she pretends otherwise in the moment. When someone truly misses you, it is often the little things they do that reveal the depth of their feelings. She may not always express her emotions through grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but her consistent small efforts to stay connected are one of the most genuine signs that she is craving your attention. These actions can be almost imperceptible if you're not paying attention. Liking your older posts on social media, sending a meme that reminded her of you, commenting on something you shared days or weeks ago, or even forwarding a song with a casual thought. You might like this. On the surface, these gestures may seem trivial, random, or even playful, but each one carries a hidden meaning. She is finding ways to maintain a presence in your life, to remind you subtly that she is there thinking of you and quietly hoping for acknowledgement. These small efforts are her way of bridging the emotional gap without fully exposing her heart. And if you notice them, they tell a story louder than words ever could. The beauty of these actions is that they are intentional, yet understated. They are carefully measured, reflecting a desire to connect without risking too much vulnerability. She may not want to appear clingy, needy, or desperate. So, she communicates in ways that feel safe to her, yet still allow her to maintain a bond with you. Every like, comment, or shared memory is a way of saying, I see you, I'm thinking of you, without actually saying it aloud. Even when she seems quiet, her mind and heart are reaching for you in subtle ways, hoping that you notice her presence and respond with attention, care, or acknowledgement. These small gestures are powerful because they demonstrate a quiet, consistent effort to remain a part of your life, even when circumstances make it impossible to express emotions directly. These efforts often extend beyond digital interactions as well. She might find ways to mention you in conversations with mutual friends, bring up memories that involve the two of you, or even create opportunities to cross paths without seeming obvious. She is trying to keep a thread of connection alive, a subtle lifeline that ensures you are still a part of her world. The small, almost imperceptible ways she maintains contact reveal a lot about her emotional investment and the longing she carries in her heart. When someone genuinely misses you, the mind and heart find ways to reach out even when the lips cannot speak, and even when circumstances make it difficult to be direct. The consistency of these small efforts is also telling. It is not a single act, a one-time coincidence, or an accidental gesture. It is the repeated, thoughtful, and intentional behavior that communicates care, presence, and emotional investment. Each action is like a quiet signal, a reminder that she is thinking of you, hoping you are thinking of her, and craving moments of attention that allow her to feel close despite the distance. By noticing these subtle patterns, you begin to see the unspoken truth. She values the connection. She misses the bond you share. And she is making delicate, meaningful efforts to keep you a part of her life, even when she cannot openly express the depth of her feelings.